Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk About It. And today we're going to be discussing, is the cloud right for me? So James, obviously there's been a lot of talk about the cloud over the past few years. And is that something that everybody should get on, or what does that mean? How does a business know if they should be utilizing the cloud or utilizing like an on-site server?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it falls under the broad scope of server management that we deal with all the time, and we're asked that almost I want to say weekly, but probably more like monthly or quarterly. Should I switch my on-site server to a cloud server? There's no easy answer to that. I think the industry wants us to say yes, let's do that. Benefits them quite a bit more than the customer sometimes. Depends on the situation. But in general, we have to do some diagnostic. We have to talk to you. We have to ask you a bunch of questions. What are your needs? How many people are going to be off-site working from home, let's say? All of these things before we can make an informed decision. And we're basically just going to collect all this info and then present you with the costs, right? Present you with the options, and then you as the customer decide what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is that you as a managed service provider need to provide the client with the options, and
the facts.
There are pros and cons to going both ways, and you need to look at the costs and look at what your business type is and how you work, and that's I think a really big part of it. A lot of times I think people are moving either way just because they're only given that one option. But I really think it's important that you look at both paths and which one is right for you.
Yeah, and I think it's part of our job, right? Like, we should be presenting these options to them. Here are the pros and cons of cloud. Maybe we can go into some of those. And here are the pros and cons of an on-site server. We have quite a lot of customers that still have the on-site servers, and they're due soon for an upgrade. They're due for new hardware. The Windows is getting long in the tooth, right. Whatever it might be. So now is the time to decide, what do we want to do? Frequently, the cloud is a good solution, but by just as much, I would say that on-site servers being replaced is still a viable option for most companies. What do you think?
I think the same, and in a lot of cases, I think a hybrid solution might be the way to go as well, where you're utilizing the cloud for certain things, and you may still have some on-site
database or something,
right, for other things that you do, and sometimes that hybrid solution, you get the benefits of both worlds.
Both worlds, exactly. Because I think for them, the difference of I'm connecting to a data center and for which is my cloud server, let's say, or I'm connecting to my office across town, the difference would probably be minimal, depending on how we set it up. What type of access they're going to have. Right. VPN versus remote desktop using a machine that's already in the site, something like that. But in general, as you said, the hybrid solution I think gives them the best of both worlds. Speed of the applications could be a factor for some of them. How many people are working from outside? I think we've mentioned already. The cost
is speed something. Are you finding it's better in the cloud, better on site?
Well, if I was honest, I would say that the cloud lags a little bit. We use, obviously, both of us use a lot of tools that are cloud-based, and there is a delay. When you try to edit stuff, when you try to save, there is a delay. So you wouldn't see that in an on-site environment. You'd see quite snappy service because it's right down the wire, 100 feet down, into right. Where the server room is. So it'd be quite quick. So we got to look at all these things. Also the budget. What is the budget for this new server? Frequently the cloud is expensive, but frequently it meets the needs of those particular clients. But we got to look at those numbers and see.
Yeah, I think there's definitely pros and cons to it. Like it's ease of entry it's very easy. Yeah. To get a client set up in and get them operational quickly. So that that's one of the good things. Costs, the costs are what they are, and yeah. I would invite people to do
look
an
at those costs deeply.
Yeah, look at both sides of that coin, and which yeah. one meets your needs, and that could go either way. Yeah. I know in the hybrid solutions that we have, if if something is down, it doesn't mean everything is down. So
that's a good point, right? Because what if your internet goes
benefit.
down and you have a critical database application that kind of can't be down? That's a good point, right? Because if it's a cloud solution and your internet goes down, now you're stuck. Whereas with, let's say more traditional setups, if the internet goes down, it doesn't matter to you. You can still use your internal server. You can still get work done. You might just not be able to receive emails or go on the internet, but
Yeah, at least you have partial operation. So so there are certainly pros and cons both ways.
And I think you nailed it on the head when you said hybrid, right? Because a lot of people don't realize they're already using cloud services. If you have a 365 set up for your email, you're already using that. Most people are using OneDrive or some sort of a file sync and share program, Dropbox even. A lot of people are using that. These are cloud services, right?
There's a lot of applications, even like QuickBooks, for instance, which a lot of our clients use. There's an online version, so. And there are benefits to both the online and the hosted. So it's really a question that you have to look at each specific business and take a look at your operations and do an analysis of it.
They need to come to their MSP and trust us with our judgment and our experience, right? To let them know, because sometimes, as you said, the online version of a software might be better than the one that would be in-house for various reasons. But we wouldn't know until we dig in a bit, do a bit of discovery, and learn what their environment is and what their needs are. So I think that's critical. Talk to your MSP. So there you have it, guys. We hope this has been beneficial to you and provided some value. And we hope to see you next time on Let's Talk About It.